I came on here. I'm just going to share a little bit about myself and then we'll get into some card pulls. So, even if you're going to watch this on the replay, it'll still connect to you. I'll also be sharing a few things that I have coming up. Um, right away, I'm feeling a lot around my throat chakra. You might be feeling like honesty and support are two main things that you're working on right now. So, if you're writing these messages down, if that's something you like to do, honesty and support. So, my name is Robin. Welcome, and I am going to be doing Tarot Tuesday every Tuesday at 222. So, that's PM Atlantic Standard Time. I'm in Moncton, New Brunswick. Tarot Tuesday will be something where you can ask questions and we can go deeper into readings for you depending on how many people we have. So if we have a couple people in here, hello, then we should have time to be able to go a little bit deeper into a reading. So I'm going to invite you to think of something that you would like to focus on if you are here. And as I was already sharing, we've got honesty as a main theme I'm picking up on. So a lot of throat chakra, and then also support. So maybe taking a moment here to as well reflect on, where you maybe not being honest with yourself, or perhaps there's something going on relationship related as well. It's definitely happening here. So you might find right now that you need to clear your throat a bit more, and drink more water, which I have here. So doing maybe even a lemon spell or a lemon ritual, because that's also really great. It has nothing to do with drinking lemon, but it has to do with more of that new moon energy that we're in right now, where we're bringing in something. So it's abundance, it's relationship work, whatever it is. And as a result of that, we're also going to be essentially detoxing anything that's not serving us. So that's definitely something coming through. Hello, Julie. Welcome in. So let me know if this is relating. The other thing, too, is we're talking about support as well. So again, relationships, right? Who are your people? Last night we did an awesome group reading for over Zoom. So everybody that is in my membership group through horsemanreadings.com and everybody that's a subscriber over on TikTok was invited to come in from 8:15 to 9:15 last night. We went a little bit over time, but good. So feel free to share again if any of this relates to you, where you're at, what you want to work on, etc., etc. But in that, we also discovered that a lot of people right now, except especially in that group, and if you're VIP in my membership, you can watch the replay so you know what I'm talking about. But we were talking about the importance of not hiding, not body shaming as well. So feeling safe to speak our truth, feeling safe to show our face and be who we really are, and doing our best to let go of the ego and not care what other people think, and trust that there are safe people out there in the world. There are like-minded people that are willing to listen, that are willing to give advice, that are willing to share energy and share space with you. And so I was creating a little bit of this community for people where, knowing that some people are nervous to do that, where they can come and share energy and talk about what's going on. So I can definitely feel that more people are wanting to speak up, that sort of thing, because we're getting sick and tired, I think, of isolating and not being able to express ourselves. And so feel free to share if you relate to this. Also, again, the support systems, right? Like, do you have a love relationship? Do you have that intimacy that you're desiring, where you can share your deepest secrets with that person? And intimacy isn't just sexual energy. Intimacy is giving all of yourself, I feel, to someone else and fully trusting them, right? That type of comfort level. And so, looking into your intimate relationships, where we do have Valentine's Day coming up, but also I feel like this new moon, where it's coming in on the 9th, very close to Valentine's Day. So, thinking about that, if you're wanting to manifest love into your life, what type of love are you looking for? And what do you need to let go of within yourself to deepen that heart connection? Is it more self love? So we're doing Tarot Tuesday, but I could not help but to want to work also with my Louise Hay How to Love Yourself cards because I feel like when we're working on love relationships, our relationship with ourselves has to be so strong. It really, really, really needs to be in a good place because how can we truly trust someone else? How can we truly be vulnerable with somebody else? How can we fully give ourselves to someone if we don't feel like good about our bodies, safe to trust ourselves, trust our intuition, make decisions, that sort of thing. So you might be finding that you're working on throat chakra, your heart chakra is also going to be worked on, and your third eye, right? So third eye came up in our weekly energy if you watch that here underneath YouTube. I also streamed it over on Facebook, but that was a big part of things of getting the Reiki attunement and attuning that crown and third eye, which will also help your root chakra and help you feel a little more safe in your heart to trust your own self, your own judgment, because we don't want to rely on anybody else to help us heal. We want to essentially be able to heal ourselves. I'm really isolated and looking forward to expanding my horizons. Okay. So I want to do more group things like that. So Delia, you're not in my subscriber under TikTok or my membership group, but it's only $11.11 to even join at a beginner level. And that will also give you our group weekly energy, our new moon ritual that we'll be doing this week. I already did the new moon reading and also theta healing downloads to help support us in our manifestations and our dreams. And if you're not over on TikTok, I highly recommend hopping over there as well because Thursday night at 7:15 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, we're doing group theta healing. It's absolutely free. You do not need to be a subscriber for that. And then also we're doing a candle ceremony for the new moon. So you purchase a candle ahead of time and add what you're manifesting with that, and that's $11. So lots of great things going on. And I want to support my people as much as I can. So if you support me, I'm able to support you, if that makes sense. So relationships is a big one. Trusting for me is a very big issue. Yeah, I was definitely sensing, and this could be for people on the replay, um, some resentment, which also came up in our group reading last night. We talked about, I titled it um, Healing for Empaths and Forgiveness. So we talked about how, as an empath, sometimes we can encounter more conflict because we can be a trigger for someone else. We can get very triggered. We need to stay more grounded. We need to learn more tools. Um, we can become very resentful. We can get really annoyed when other people aren't doing the work. We can want to fix people, etc., etc. And so it's also keeping our confidence up as well, which is why we're talking about body image and self love. So yes, I'm glad that this is connecting, but anger definitely is a really strong emotion as well because that's where some of the resentment can come up, right? When people are blaming us or projecting their energy onto us, when there are narcissists that will do that. And so I think the deeper we get into our heart and the more we connect, the more we can recognize, oh crap, like I'm to blame in this situation. I need to take accountability. And we want to make sure that we're not internalizing things too much. So that was another thing we talked about last night is I don't want to project my energy onto somebody else, so I'm just going to take one for the team, but we can end up suppressing a lot of energy and as a result of that run into some throat chakra issues or some heart walls, which means we're not feeling safe to be ourselves, we're not feeling safe to speak our truth, and maybe sometimes we're not even feeling safe in our support groups, which is really sad to me that when we get together in a group setting with all females that are all investing money in themselves that we don't even feel safe to talk about our feelings with other people just because either we don't know them, again, we might have some shame, we're nervous that somebody's going to judge us. So, yeah, still having trouble finding help, decided to just do what I need to do on my own. I need to trust and believe in myself, like you said. Okay. Yeah, so I am working on healing my heart, okay? I'm definitely not suggesting isolating and not getting help. It's the opposite. It's coming into the group settings, especially when they're free and they're a perk, to get support from other people and feel safe to talk about it. The issue is when we're pulling back and we're internalizing and we're keeping it in, we need to release things in healthy ways, right? So, tapping is a great way, working with our crystals, and of course, actually, the throat chakra is all about verbalizing. So it's literally speaking out loud, and so typing is secondary to verbalizing, and I think it's also great if we can, read out loud what we have, written, because that's another way that we can kinda organize our thoughts and speak our truth with, and feel confident, if that makes sense. So Chinese lunar new year this weekend, new beginnings, new mindset, and new positive changes and blessings. Okay, perfect. Yes, and we're going into the dragon, which I don't know too much about, but when I think about the energy, I meant hired help. Okay, so learning. So what are you struggling with, Julie? Is it learning to receive? Is it learning to ask? Because receiving would be more the heart, asking would be more the throat, right? And then trusting that the right words that we're choosing when we're writing or speaking will be exactly what we're meant to attract the person, right? And love life is in here too, I feel, for some people. So, Delia, how about you, where you're working on heart and trusting? Does forgiveness play a role for you as well? I trust the intelligence within me is our card here. There are no problems that do not have a solution. There are no questions without answers, right? So I'm getting like soul searching, right? So the need to explore ourselves, like we were saying, it's okay to go inward, but we want to just as quickly as we want to go inward, we want to be able to release the energy that's coming through and coming forward. So when I did my meditation yesterday, because on TikTok at 11:11 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, I'm doing a meditation Monday and a Tarot Tuesday here at 222. So I'm inviting more of these things in, and that's exactly what we talked about with meditation. That sometimes we're getting downloads in our meditation. If you're an intuitive, if you're creative, we might need to write that down. We might need to, in our meditations, take action steps. So if you're VIP in our membership as well, we have a meditation program where we talk about mantras and mudras and different styles of meditation too. So don't forget, it's not all silent and quiet. A lot of times we can do healing and release all at the same time. And that's kind of what I feel like I teach, is how to go within and then release very fast. Otherwise, you're going in and you can create more destructive patterns of behaviors by going in too. So how can we soul search, embrace who we are, and then release the tension, right? So Reiki is something, as I was sharing in my weekly energy last week, it's great to develop that tool. You can get that in my VIP membership. Tons of different ways to learn. The Akashic Records is another great tool. I have plenty of things in there. But yoga tomorrow night as well. I know, Julie, you're coming into that class. We only have 2 people right now, which is A-okay. The VIPs will get the replay to that as well, and it's yoga for the brain. So that's $16. You don't need any experience. You don't need to show your face on the camera either. And so I tune into the energy of the group. We start off with a little discussion, kind of like we're doing here. We pull in some tools, and essentially what we're doing is we're just learning to release anything that's blocking us, and we're encouraging ourselves to feel more inspired and embracing essentially who we are in the moment. Makes sense. I need to go within more to receive any messages from our higher power. Yeah, and so, Delia here, what I'm getting is like you're already doing that though. Like you just channeling what you needed to say and express right now is you going within. You taking the time to think that thought and then write that thing is you going within, you thinking or you channeling and connecting here to what you need to say and expressing it is literally that, right? So let's take the pressure off of ourselves of the masculine energy of do, 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 and let's start just embracing more of the now and being here and trusting that we're getting exactly what we need, right? So how can we be more present and how can we get more inspiration and inspire at the same time? And that's really been coming through for myself lately is how to be more innovative and how to use the intuition to have more joy and have more love at the same time. So how asking yourself that now as well, how can you bring in more joy and how can you bring in more love? Because what I'm hearing is I need to do this or I have to do that, and that all feels really heavy. So asking and inviting that in for yourself. All right, I am going to grab my tarot cards because I'm realizing it's Tarot Tuesday and I don't have them with me. So I'll give you guys a moment to ask yourself those questions or come up with a question, perhaps one or two that you'd like to work on as well. For people that are new to me, my name is Robin. I own Horseman Readings. If you want to check out my like events coming up, my classes, as I was already sharing, the my scheduled things I have going on. Some things are free, some things are paid. I have a store as well that I'm developing, all of the things. I do my best to get, so that's all in the description, but I do my best to get replays up on YouTube. So if you like to catch things live, TikTok's a great place to hang out. I'll be streaming my weekly podcast underneath my Facebook as well. And I'm also underneath Instagram. So please, if you do decide to watch this at some point, please subscribe because it's really helpful. And I really appreciate the people who come on and comment as well. Take the time to like the thumbs up button. And as well over on like my TikTok, the people that just literally send hearts. It's just really supportive for me when I do free content. All right, so let's grab those cards. All right. So, has anybody been feeling angry here? Is anybody feeling annoyed lately? This is definitely feeling that way. But I'm really getting like health and body image too, like confidence. Right, maybe this is for people people on the replay. These cards are definitely meant to come up for us. Getting a lot of triggers for people too. Just all like heavy throat chakra. Okay. Disheartened. So is this relationship related, Delia? And how about finances? Because I was picking up on like quite a lot of negative energy around money. And by the way, Julie, I am doing a video for you today. I'm going to post that in our spiritual support team underneath Facebook because that's where we post all of like any resources and support and stuff like that for anyone in our groups because you were interested in a necklace, but I don't know if there are other things as well. Like I can't stop feeling like I need to cough. Oh my goodness, excuse me. No business and no business and financial well-being. What do you mean no business and financial well-being? Are you feeling like that's at a zero, you mean? Like you feel like you don't have any money or any business energy? Feel free to explain. So Delia will pull up some cards here for you. So we have 10 of Swords, okay? I'm definitely feeling it feels like things are on an incline. But what's good about this is a lot of this is mindset. You're welcome, Julie. Like that's what the type of work I do is I help people with mindset, right? How can we dissect these things, shift the energy, and move forward, right? Excuse me, go within and then move forward. And the fact that I'm even like having a hard time, like I'm bringing stuff up is it maybe it's uncomfortable for us to talk about, right? There is some shame sometimes around money or feeling like, especially when we're talking about our weight loss or, our smoking cigarettes or whatever it is. But there comes a time where it's like we have to just be okay with where we are, as I was saying in the present, and that's a big part of doing the shadow work that comes through when we do healing. It's like a standstill with no clients. Okay, interesting. So this is saying card wise, and again, this is going to relate to everybody here. Um, it's just not gonna. It's never gonna be as bad as it kind of is right now. It's just like when we have that heavy workload and it piles up and it piles up and it's like, okay, it'll never pile up like this again, right? The stress, the problems, it won't because you won't let that happen again. So if you can look at this as a learning curve about yourself, I won't let this happen again. But we've got to let go of the heaviness, right? And it's like fear that it's going to keep happening or it's going to get worse. So definitely if you were to book in a session with me or come into our theta healing Thursday night, I do have lots of specials on right now in my link tree or under horsemanreadings.com you can see, but it's definitely worth working on, okay? I also like to go on live and do free readings and paid readings on TikTok too. So Page of Cups, friendship, okay? So this is really talking again relationships and um linking up with the right people. Sometimes when our business isn't doing that well, it's because, maybe we're not happy with things, maybe we're in a lack mindset. So, how can we focus on, again, the joy and the passion, the inspiration, and the enthusiasm? And so, like last night when I did my group reading, I got off of that and I just felt like I was on a high. And it was interesting. I felt like I was like moving up doing that. And in the weekly energy, if you guys listen to that underneath videos, that's what I said. By the weekend, you're gonna feeling like you're leveling up. And so I'm sharing this because this was a free event, and I was seeing people like it was making me feel emotional, having little breakthroughs. And so for me, that's all I'm looking for in my work is to see people stepping outside of their comfort zone, shifting, and healing, right? Because I own a healing business, so it makes me happy to feel like when I'm doing all this work that it's working, right? And so for you in your work, could how can you align more? I was already asking you guys to focus more on this. How can you align more with the right people? Right? Have you been doing any work around attracting your ideal clients? Do you know what these ideal clients are like? Do you have boundaries with the people that aren't your ideal clients? That sort of thing. And again, uh, are you being too hard on yourself? Are you in a lack mindset I don't have? Because that's where we have to do the money work, right? Then we have 5 of Cups. This is some depression. For sure, this is regret, and I was definitely feeling that before I came on here, so I'm like, I'm so curious to know who's gonna be on here because I was feeling so much stress. And I know when it's not mine, it's a feeling of overwhelm, where when it's like, you're like a chicken with your head cut off, but you can't see where you're going, right? And there's absolutely 0 judgment here, I'm just explaining how I was feeling because there's a mirror there for me as well when I'm taking on too much or promising too much or feeling too much energy, that sort of thing. So I'm like, okay, ground, take a step back, maybe go for a walk, get some air, eat some food, right? So what I'm getting here is if you are feeling any of those things, what are your tools? You're right on the money with what you're saying. Okay. So what are your tools, right? To get out of this sadness? Is it to continue the resentment and the anger? No, it's definitely like I feel like a session would be good, or in my membership group we have so many like theta healing downloads, so when we go to do the theta healing for the new moon, if you're pro or vip you can email me what you want support with. If you're a beginner, you can just soak up the energy that I'm picking up for our people. So if you came in, I would know that you're signed up, and then when I go to do the new moon downloads, I would base it around that. But we've got to work through that, making sure you know yourself inside and out to say, oh, okay, I'm stressed out. I'm feeling this. This is somebody else's. This is where it's coming from. And I'm also going to be teaching a tarot and numerology class February 25th. It's a 2.5 hour class, so we'll get lots and lots out of that. So maybe pulling in more of those tools, even if you're already doing it, maybe we could find a way that it could suit you a little bit better, because sometimes we're doing it all on our own and we're not meant to. We're meant to call in more mentors and more people that can inspire us. And again, when money plays a role, it's like, oh no, I don't need this, or I can't afford this. And when I hear that, it's very much that lack mindset. We need to get into that abundance and that healing around any money block so that you can start bringing in money and receiving it. So I relate to that as well. I've worked so much on money, and there's always more work to do. So also thinking about, what is my life path? What is my purpose? What am I here to do? What am I here to learn? Right? What are my karmic lessons? What are my contracts here on earth? So just think a little bit more about that. School was more than I expected. Yeah. I just paid off all of my student loan debt that I had for like ever. So I know that feeling of school, right? And I'm a big education person. So I feel like we never stop learning. So it's like, oh yeah, complete this and then on to the next thing. Just like when we heal an issue, on to another issue, right? And so the contentment is what's coming through here as well, right? How can we be more content with where we are? And when we can be content with who we are, where we are, how much we weigh, the way that our face looks, our hair color, um, the way our mind is, the way our personality is. I'm not saying accept yourself if you want to improve and be like, I don't have problems, I don't need fixing, I can do it all by myself. But it's acknowledging that balance of that give and take with yourself, right? And you could agree to disagree as well. But if you listen to our February reading that I already did underneath TikTok and then put here, I talk about the end of February if you have like independence syndrome. Oh, I just saw a spirit behind us. If you have independent syndrome by the end of the month, you will either, it could go two different ways. I can't really remember exactly what I said, but I remember hearing that you're gonna find something's gonna shift. Um, and it's more about partnerships and that sort of thing, and leadership, right? That give and take, that balance, those promises that you make to yourself, but also with others. Again, the contracts that we have with like-minded people. But I do feel like there might be some people that listen that are like gonna stay in that too, and then that's gonna shift in not a great way. So it's kind of like breaking those chains, breaking those patterns, breaking those cycles now. So when the end of the month comes, we're like, bring it on. I also provide Reiki, so I need to do this for myself. God, yes. Yeah. I'm always going to promote the stuff that I have in my VIP, because a lot of people like are giving me positive feedback saying I've already done Reiki, but this is very like rich in content, and I'm getting way more from this than I even did in my other class in such a short period of time. So what you'll find is it might be overwhelming in terms of how much there is there, but what's nice is you can watch it at your own time. So yeah, it's easy as a healer to fall back into old ways and old habits because we might be focusing so much on other people, right? Bringing us back into self love. I take a break, then continue with a clear mind. Okay, that's a great accomplishment, Robin. Yes, it absolutely has been. But again, now we're building and I'm starting up my retreat. So if you're local and you want to come to my, I have two events right now. I have July 5th, it's a wine and cheese. You don't have to drink wine, you can have tea or coffee or water or whatever you want. So that's a new moon healing night that we're doing on the Friday night for 2 hours and 15 minutes at my place. and we'll be outside as long as we can be outside. Have a campfire, do that sort of thing. We'll do all kinds of healing. And then the next day, it's a separate event. We're going to do a mindfulness retreat from like 10:30 to 3:30 and just like all kinds of activities, but it's all calm and zen. And so it's $100 for Friday and $100 for Saturday. But again, Delia, if you can make it, you might find like going through your own healing, um, and being around those types of people could be helpful as well. Thank you. So, yeah, when we're struggling financially in business, how can we expand our energy more, like you said, working on yourself? But maybe where I'm working isn't working. Maybe instead of saying like, "I'm awesome, I'm doing a great job," which is good to say too, like I said, feed yourself with good positive vibes, but also allowing that inspiration to come in and getting that healing and getting that help in business. And when somebody's like, "Actually, I'm feeling like you could really benefit from shifting your business over to this." That sort of thing. And so if you're having that cluttered mind or having a hard time getting rid of your ego, again, self-sabotage, being hard on yourself, external factors, all of that stuff, it's good to kind of up here, shift, and also, again, get support. That's what I'm getting for you. So, and Julie, you were talking about money, I feel, and accepting help or receiving help or something like that. Hope you guys are drinking lots of water. Especially, Julie, if you've been soaking up all of the healing in the membership group and replays and stuff. Water, 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 water. And ground, 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 because the more we work on ourselves and the more sensitive we get, like, the more we need to flush. That's what I was kinda saying at the beginning, right? And I need to do that as well. I'm realizing, I'm craving a lot of comfort food right now, and it feels like it's more for grounding. Um, so if you're noticing your diet is shifting and stuff like that, just honor where you are, literally, in all aspects. Okay, so we've got Five of Wands here, okay? If you're hopping on, guys, feel free to share how you are, what's going on, if you would like me to offer a reading for you. That's what we're here to do. We're doing Tarot Tuesday every Tuesday at 222. And if you're over on TikTok on Mondays at 11:11, we're doing Meditation Monday, which is awesome as well. And then also we have Thursday Theta at 7:15, followed by a new moon ceremony where you can purchase a candle for that. So this is talking about changes and shifts, okay? This is when we feel like, okay, things aren't working out for me in work, and then things aren't working out for me in my personal. And it just sucks all the way around, right? It's like I'm feeling creative blocks, I'm feeling emotional blocks, whatever it is. And so when we see this, the five representing change, learning, and growth, right? With our creativity, with our intuition. So when we're feeling these emotional blocks, as we were already talking about, sometimes we need to even rest from the healing too. So Julie, I'm glad that you're coming into the yoga, because the yoga isn't like theta healing, it's not Reiki healing, it's just more of like you sitting with yourself and acknowledging where you are and just finding that space for you. Self-care, self-time, right? Because I feel like you're busy. Excuse me, you definitely have some throat stuff going on. Have you been feeling like a tickle in your throat? Have you been craving more liquids? Any oxidants? Or are you craving more things that are hot, more things that are cold, teas? What's going on? And you said you wanted to know more about jewelry that I have, but is there anything else? Are you looking for any healing products that I have? Because when I do up a package, it's $20 for me to ship, so it doesn't matter the size of the box. I actually shipped over to Finland the other day, which is really cool, and did her a magic box. And it was like 60 Canadian or 61 Canadian, something like that. And the first option for me shipping, I just feel like sharing this because it's funny. It'll travel by boat with no tracking, an unknown destination time, and it could be months. And I'm like, "Mm, that doesn't there's that shouldn't even be, like, legal." Like, you should not be able to take my money for that. So I decided air, and that's the cost of things. So I'm thinking if anybody internationally outside of the States and Canada wanted a package, um, I charged her $50, but, like, that would be the max, but I as a base, I have $20, and it's, any any size box because in Canada, we have these, like, little boxes that you can, use for shipping, and then in the States, I don't care. I'm just same concept, we're going with it. My knee won't bend. I hope it still works. Kids keep bringing in illnesses and stuff. Okay, well, knees, it's interesting 'cause, someone from our group reading and healing last night that's also coming into the yoga is also struggling with knees. So one of the things that we will work on tomorrow night in yoga are the knees. So that's where we carry a lot of fear. So we'll dig deeper into understanding the energy behind that, maybe ways to find more support, which was the word that was coming in here at the beginning. Hello, Haley. If you would like a reading, just let me know. Feel free to share anything in the comments as well. Every week there are kids coughing. Okay. Yep. And so again, maybe the kids need a little support with intuition. You know, how can we help the kiddos out with empowering them, giving them knowledge and wisdom? Kids love like angel cards and the crystals and the sound healing and the healing in the background and colors and yoga, and there's just like so many things that kiddos love, you know? So we also have 6 of cups here. Oh, shocker, support, right? So this usually talks about someone who needs to focus more on future. Um, someone who needs to start planning out their future, right? No more excuses. What do I want moving forward? And so new moons, as we trickle into that on Friday, asking ourselves some of those deeper healing questions, right? What do I want to start working on? Where do I want to go? So for myself right now, yoga is something I'm just using myself as an example. Like yoga is something that I'm like, yes, I'm stepping into this. This is a thing, right? Hello, welcome in. Let me know if you'd like a reading. Thank you so much for being here and subscribing. Yes, of course you could ask. And we've been on here for a while, just kind of talking about some group energy, people's struggles, and things I was feeling before I came on here. Um, and then also retreats. So yoga and retreats are both coming through. Hello, welcome in. So I'm going to be here every Tuesday at 2:22 Atlantic Standard Time. Of course you can. Okay. So we'll shift over, okay? And also please follow me over on TikTok as well, because if you like free stuff, we've got a lot going on over there too. And you can also click my link tree in the description. You'll get all kinds of like free and paid. And thank you for the thumbs up, guys. All right. So Maximiliano, what's coming in February and March for me? Okay. Yes, no problem. Okay. So one of the things that's coming through for you with career is it feels like there's a lot of pressure for career. And it's interesting you have the word theft. Okay. So theft, when I think about theft, it's like someone who's like being negative towards us or pulling our energy down, that sort of thing. And so this could be you pulling your own energy down as well. But when I see this, it's usually that we need to keep more of our energy to ourselves. Okay, so with career for February or March, it doesn't really matter. This is more of like what I would suggest start doing now. Um, just it's weird, but I'm getting like to share less with other people. Um, and just kind of like keep your ideas to yourself right now about career and about work, because it feels like you're still navigating and figuring out what that is. Your energy feels like you could be giving too much of it away and feeling tired and drained. So the energy right now for work, Max, is shift over more to having a healthy money mindset. So any type of abundance work that you can do, I have lots of stuff here under my channel. If you click my link tree, you'll see my abundance ritual that I have. In my VIP membership, I have a lot of stuff around manifesting abundance and money blocks. But literally anything you can do for to work on money mindset right now, keeping your energy to yourself, and just kind of recharging and rebalancing, that would be healthy for you until you're a little bit more clear energy wise and mindset wise, okay? But it's more like you're going to grow a lot through these experiences with whatever's going on career wise, okay? So thank you for asking your question. Alana, so is Carlos Daniel good looking? I didn't get a picture of him yet, and he's low profile. It's so funny that you're saying that because I've been watching Love is Blind, Sweden version. And these people, I don't know if you've ever watched that, but these people are falling in love without seeing each other, but then some of them are doing really well when they see the person, because they still have that connection, but other people are like, "Oh my god, I'm not attracted to you at all." And it is super important that we are attracted to our our person, right? It's very important. People can say, "Oh, it doesn't matter." We want it all and we deserve it all, right? Okay. So, I'm getting okay, which is funny. I don't like to judge here, but I'm getting like a little good looking. Okay. So, if you have this like bar of attraction of sexy hot stuff, right? We want to look at the whole picture and the whole package. You get what I'm saying? And I think that when you meet somebody, that's when you're really gonna feel the whole this is so sounds so wrong, feel the whole package. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, so it's more like when you actually meet the person definitely is when you're going to get the feelings. Because we think we have feelings before we meet someone, but we don't. We don't really have the feelings of it all, and so I think the in-person interaction, that connection says it all. It's like a make or break right away. So I'm getting for you a little bit good looking, if that is helpful for you at all. Let's pull you up a card here as well, okay? And thank you for subscribing. And I'm getting for you as well, Alana, to focus on your energy being very high and positive and happy because if you're working on love right now, I'm doing love readings as well. So feel free to check out my link tree in my description or horsemanreadings.com because I have a couple little specials going on there. One you get sent over to your email, the other is a one on one. But yeah, you need to keep that happy go lucky personality up because when you are love searching, you want that person to feel good energy from you too, right? So if you're feeling insecure or you have worries or you're in like hesitation mode, other people will pick up on that too, right? Because you want to make sure you're attracting the best people for you and you're in the best version of you. So you have Queen of Cups, very sensual. So I'm sensing that sexuality is really important for you. So making sure that you are like vibrating when when you see a picture of someone in the dating world. Okay, like you're like, yeah, I want to. Gosh, what's wrong with me? I want to pounce on that as I'm wearing my leopard here. It's just so important. It's exactly what I've been thinking because I had a bad breakup. Okay. Yeah. So you deserve that. There's nothing wrong with that. And so you've got Angel of Reflection, definitely. With this new moon, if that's something you want to focus on, absolutely do that. If you come into my membership group, we have our new moon ritual, our new moon theta healing, our new moon reading in there. So you watch it at your own time. And also, if you come on over to TikTok, we have a live on Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. You buy a candle, you let me know what you're manifesting, otherwise I pick it for you, and I offer some healing to help you vibrate that energy, and then the replay comes on here, so if you can't make the live, that might be a good one for you, but keep working through it. You'll get there, and I'm sorry to hear about your breakup. And thank you for being here. So again, I'll be back on here next week as well. So Darla, do you have a question? Guys, if you're hopping on new, feel free to just say hello. Thank you, Robin. Have to go. We will connect soon. Sounds great. You're welcome. So, Darla, are you here? Feeling a lot in my root and my sacral right now. How should I communicate with Thayad so it leads to a meeting in person? It's a mess of a situation. He kind of came back and I need to talk face to face. Oh, yes. Okay. Should I communicate so it leads to a meeting in person? Oh my gosh, another weird energy I'm picking up on here because it almost feels like being a bit more dramatic. Um, but it's also about honesty, right? Like it's not about faking anything. It's just sometimes we need to emphasize more. I'm not going to say exaggerate, it's emphasize more on how you're really feeling and why you're feeling that way. And sometimes when we're in a situation where we're like, I'm not taking no for an answer, like this is happening. But it's really it's not getting louder and screaming about it, but it's just how you approach it, you're right, is very important, but it's getting, like, even more sensitive. You know, when we cry about something, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I guess this really does mean something to somebody," but that has to be genuine too, it's not faking it, right? It's just showing those raw emotions and showing that enthusiasm for whatever it is that you're desiring. Okay, so yes, of course you can. I don't know what to emphasize. Okay, so you do have, a disconnect with money right now for some reason, Darla. So it's more when I say a disconnect, it's more like spiritually. It might be like you're not connecting into as much future as you would like. So sometimes when we're not feeling 100%, money we can be weird about money too. So this card talks about healing for you, Darla. So this is when you're able to see things the way that they really are, and as a result of that, it can be kind of hurtful to your heart, so it can make you a little tired. So I would just at this point really all you can do is say what you is on your mind and on your heart and show those raw emotions and really emphasize on those emotions. And other than that, take it easy and pull back if you're not getting what you want. That's basically what's coming through because you're capable of having a healthy relationship, so if this person's not responding to you in the way that you want them to, there's nothing you can do about it, and so just rest and digest and process it that way, okay? So Nancy, what is your question? So thanks for being here, Darla. Please make sure you guys are subscribed if you're watching here as well, and thank you for the people that have. Got lots of free content here. And in my description, you'll also see my link tree, which has a bunch of free and paid things and different events that I have going on. Okay, you're welcome. So, Nancy, what is your question? And I'll be back on here, YouTube, next Tuesday at 222 as well. I want to know the real intentions of N behind his connection with me. My head is just like in here, okay? For some reason, I'm getting there's a foundation and there's security there. And there's also, I feel like a lot of love too. And just great relationship patterns. So, Nancy, are you feeling like things are worse than what they are? Like, are you getting into your head about things, do you think? Like, is this person showing you do you feel like you're getting mixed signals, or do you feel like you're just questioning it within yourself? Feel free to let me know, because 'cause you're asking what his real intentions are, but you know there's a connection, but he is with someone else. Okay. Okay, let's pull you up another card. Mm. Well, do you think you have a real connection with this person? And do you think it's possible for this person to have a real connection with you and a real connection with somebody else as well? Do you think that's possible? Free to share, because you have beautiful cards, okay? You've got the most amount of support. You have the most amount of home love in a serious relationship with other person, okay? Yeah, and you also have basically this success card recognition that somebody sees you in a positive light and you don't even see yourself in that positive light. So, regardless, there's definitely this, regardless, there's feelings there for you. They're wanting to give to you, they see you in a positive light, and there's a lot of love there for you. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what to do or what's right or what's wrong, but I'm just answering the question with their intentions, and the connection is just that, like, I don't sense that they dislike you or they're mean to you or negative towards you. I think if anything, sometimes when we have a connection with somebody outside of our relationship, it could be because maybe they're seeing a light within you that they don't see in that person. And, like, there's a lot of positive energy, and I'm, like, kinda thinking, unfortunately, there's a lot of positive energy. If you're just asking about the connection and the intentions, I do feel that this person just they have, like, nothing but good energy and love towards you, okay? Um, if you were asking what do they feel towards the person that they're in a relationship with, that would be a whole different reading, okay? But I'm just answering the question that you have. I don't know what his feelings are for me. Yeah, that's what I'm basically that's what I'm picking up. It's all good energy towards you, right? All right, guys. So is there anybody else here looking for a reading? I also, as I was already sharing, do paid readings and free readings over on my TikTok. Um, So Nancy, if you want to go over onto my TikTok, I also do paid readings over there. So if you want to pay for a reading, or if you're a subscriber, you get a free one reading over there. That's where I would suggest you to go. So right now it's 3:12. I'll go on at about 3:20. So in about 8 minutes, I'll be over there. So you'll find that through my link tree. It's Horseman Readings underneath TikTok. So again, you can subscribe, ask a question, you can pay for a mini reading and we'll do some general messages there too. All right, thank you so much for being here. And of course, you can always book in with me as well through horsemanreadings.com or in my description. And make sure you check out those Valentine's Day love reading specials. Bye bye.